Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce that finally Vanguard Zero is the actual best mobile game. It took a good few months, but the meta that this set has brought in and the gameplay that this set has brought in with the cross-ride meta is literally what I've wanted this game to be from the release announcement. It's actually every win and loss feels deserved. Nothing feels luck-based. I mean, literally I've played so much of this new format. I'm actually in the top 100 because I've been playing so much without even realizing, and it feels so satisfying. This game has never felt this satisfying, has never felt this good to play Vanguard Zero as it has been with this specific meta. As you can see, it is day 3 of the season. I'm Legend 9. I'll show you my ranking right now. We're going to try to get to Legend 10 today still. As you can see, I'm number 69 in the world. Absolutely best number to be. Maybe I shouldn't move at all. But as you can see, I've been going pretty well. And honestly, I didn't intend to climb at all. I didn't intend to do anything try hard this season, but I built the end because I saved up my crafting materials for the end ever since the start of the game. I built a deck, and I've just been having so much fun, I just can't stop playing. It literally is the situation where I just cannot stop playing. And so it's absolutely amazing. The game feels super great to play right now. And so today, we're going to be showing off the deck that I've been climbing with. This deck I've been posting on my Discord, the Vanguard Zero Reddit Discord, and some people on Twitter asked me for the list, so I would reply with it. But I haven't gone too public about it because there's a lot to explain. So the end was the best deck in 2012-2013, essentially. The top 3 decks were Tsukiyomi, The End, and MLB. Not in order, I would say The End first, MLB second, Tsukiyomi third. But The End is not simply great because it restands and draws you cards. The End is great because the deck as a package is insane and the synergy is insane and it just feels so good to play. And the entire backbone of the deck isn't even the End itself, it's literally just a little support card. So let me tell you about this deck, which is The End. So this is what the list looks like. Yes, you do need 4 The Ends, and yes, I do recommend 4 regular Overlords. So this list, I will break it down in terms of, going top down. So first off, 9 draws. Why 9 draws? Because this deck is quite grindy. I think if I had to call it a certain archetype or type of deck, it is definitely a tempo deck. So this is 100% tempo based, and it really just values being up ahead of your opponent in terms of that tempo and basically just controlling the flow of the game. I think that's the best way to describe this deck. It controls the flow of the game and it simply wants to make sure that you're always ahead of your opponent. So that's what this whole thing is built off. And just to give you some kind of a preface, the 2013 format, which was these 3 decks plus Limit Break format, was by far my most playtested format. That's also the only time that I had a really proper top in the game. And so I would like to say that I really know my shit, and I really know what I'm talking about when it comes to this deck and when I eventually do MLB and Shadows. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm getting fairly close to completing MLB. I'm just opening packs and, getting my stuff. Shadows might take a bit longer. I have my 4 PBDs, but literally not, and then 4 Makas, but nothing else maxed out. So essentially it's going to take some time to get Shadows, I think, but I'll try to deliver eventually. But I felt like the End was the one I was most hyped for and therefore wanted to talk about. So 9 draws, as I said, for the filtering. Now what helps us filter as well is Mr. Gojo. Mr. Gojo has a simple skill, Vanguard Rearguard Circle. You may rest him, discard 1, draw 1. So this card is very good going first because you ride into him, rest him, ditch something you don't need, and potentially draw into a PG or a Overlord if you don't have it already, or at the end for your Persona Blast. And only 2 copies because he's basically a vanilla late game. You only do the filter turns 1 and 2, more or less, sometimes 3, very rarely, but usually he's one of the cards you discard for your filtering actually. But then this Aermo is the backbone of the deck. People at first weren't believing me, and then they tried out my list and they were like, oh my god, DifferentFight, your list is god tier. And I was like, I told you, because Aermo literally makes the deck work. If you use Conroe is a very important starter. Countless 1, search your deck for any grade 1, add it to your hand, and also retire Conroe. 90% of the time, when you search something with Conroe, you search Aermo. Aermo literally carries the deck. It has a very simple skill. When the attack that it boosted hits, you may discard 1, draw 1. Now, for those of you that are hard on the nostalgia factor, will remember that when The End had his debut in the anime, literally Kai could do the skill because he boosted with Aermo, he used its skill, discarded whatever he drive checked, drew into a V-End, and Persona Blasted for the restand. So I'd like to say that that was a pretty big hint on that's how you have to play the deck. And only one copy, because you don't need more than that. You don't ever need more than that. You simply always have to search it. If you have it in your opening hand, perfect, keep it. Then you can search either a PG, or a bar, or a heat nail, or if you need to filter more like the rest of your hand is garbage, then you search a Gojo. So you actually you very rarely search PGs off of Conroe. That's your pro tip. A good the end player versus a not so good the end player is basically determined by what they search from their Conroe, if they don't have an Aermo in hand. So honestly, 90% of the time, maybe even more than that, you search Aermo. I will repeat this until I don't have to anymore. So Heat Nail Salamander is played because this is actually our answer to the mirror match. You will be playing the DN mirror very often. And Heat Nail is basically used to pop your opponent's Aermo if they already have adapted, and I'm assuming after I make this video, people will adapt, or after websites that, share deck lists will adapt, then that's going to happen too. So Heat Nail Salamander is not only an answer to the mirror match, also if they're playing like bar behind their the end that has on cross ride, so it's hitting for 21. If you didn't manage the cross ride, that's an annoying number, so you want to get rid of that bar ASAP. So that's why we also run 4 bars. I should also explain Heat Nail's skill is when the attack is boosted to Vanguard, you can retire one of your opponent's grade 1 rear guards, and then at the end of turn, this card goes back to your deck. So you basically get to pop any grade 1, not a grade 0, sadly. That'd be really good, but sadly that's not the case. And so Heat Nail is good because it's not only good in the mirror match, against Royals, you get to pop their Lians that they use for filtering. Some people play Garmor MLB, so then you can pop their Snowgulls and things like that. It's very good for that reason. And so basically, it just keeps field control, basically. So especially with this deck, when you're on a 13k base, your opponent is often not on a cross ride unless they're playing Kagero or Shadows. And so basically they have to commit a booster to board to actually hit your 13k Vanguard sometimes. And so by using Heat Nail Salamander, you're essentially taking away their boost and that extra card they had to commit, so then they have to recommit another card from hand. So Heat Nail Salamander basically just brings you to victory faster. It's just amazing. So that's a really important part. 4 bars, simply because it's cross-ride meta. This is how people played back in the day. Cross-ride meta means you need to make 18k columns. How do we make 18k columns? 4 bar and 4 of the boy Nahalem. So your vanillas, but 18Ks are very important and simply necessary in my opinion. Then, moving on to grade 2s, we have 4 Berserks. Berserk is just good, basically. It's an on-place counterblast to retire a grade 2 or less. So this will take care of intercepts when you're going for the win. This will take care of annoying starters, like your opponent's Conroe if they didn't use it, Wingle Brave if they didn't use it. You can sometimes damage deny your opponent. I've run into some opponents that literally just do not attack early to not give me that first counterblast to use Conroe, so that, and then especially if they use the starter that snipes grade 0s, then that happens. People are already building against this deck. They're main decking Tejas to be able to attack your starter in turn 2 and things like that. So people are being smart about this meta, and I really love it. It's the epitome of what Vanguard should be in this early stage, and it's looking really great. 4 Berserk, you can reduce this to 3 if you have a 3rd Burning Horn, I would say. Then 3 Bellicosity. Bellicosity is when it hits a Vanguard, countercharge 1, whether it's on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. This is your optimal turn 2 ride, because you want to ride him, then use Conroe to search your Aermo, and then basically put it behind your Bellicosities, then you can attack for 15, it hits, you countercharge 1, and then you ditch 1, draw 1. The reason why we're filtering so much, by the way, is because we want to draw our the ends. Like, literally, the point of this deck is that you want to filter until you draw your the ends, and you have all your pieces to deliver victory. So that's the best part of this deck. Burning Horn is just a 12k attacker when you have an Overlord Vanguard, so when you're playing against things like Spikes or whatever has a 10k base, that plus the bar will make 20k, and therefore that's magic numbers. Speaking of magic numbers, we have 4 of the Dual X Arc Dragon. So this one is during your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, he gets plus 3k. So with bar, this makes a 21k column, basically 21k column, meaning that it can hit magic numbers against everything, get over defensives, all that good stuff. So it's basically an amazing card, and it's only a double rare, so it's pretty easy to get. This is a flex spot, put literally whatever you want. Waterfall is a nice backup. I actually had him come up in one situation in the mirror match because he basically attacks for 14, so not in the mirror match, against MLB, so 14 with the bar 22, so you can hit over defensives, so it's kind of okay in that sense. Then the backbone of the deck. So first, 4 Overlords. You use the skill fairly often when you need to just get past a bunch of intercepts, and you can, with the booster, he can get over defensives with his skill, so that's also good, but try not to use his Vanguard ability too much because you lose the drive check, which means less filtering. Then, so you always want to try to cross-ride because the number advantage is really good. Only if you see that, like, I don't know, you have like 3 the ends in your hand, then you sometimes ride him first because then you can do the skill faster and you gain a lot of tempo from that. And finally, the end. So you really do need 4 copies. I won't recommend playing this deck if you don't have 4 because it's the Persona Blast is that important. Do not play the Searcher. It's a bad card. Play Aermo. Believe in Aermo. So his skill is Crossride Dragonic Overlord. So when you have Dragonic Overlord in your soul, he gets plus 2k permanently. And then Vanguard Circle skill. When his attack hits anything, you may counterblast 2, Persona Blast, which means discard a copy of the end, and then this unit stands and you draw 2. So that's how they changed the skill in 0. So this card is amazing. It was the most broken thing back in the day when it released, and of course it still is in 0. I wouldn't say it's the most broken thing, but honestly, I think this is the best deck in the game. It is the most satisfying deck to play. It's honestly just absolutely fantastic. So we're going to go into a game. I've already been talking about the deck profile itself for 11 minutes, so we're going to go into a game, maybe 2, honestly. I just want to show off what the deck can do, what is the point of the whole deck, and what, you know, you're supposed to do with the deck. So I hope that this incentivizes more of you to play. And also don't forget that we're getting clan specific raid ups in the coming days, starting with Royals, I think tomorrow or today as I'm posting this maybe, and then it's going to be Kagero after that. So if you want to build this deck, hold all your packs for the Kagero raid up so you can get your Overlords, Baris, Burning Horns, Bellicosities, the ends, everything. So you might want to save for that if you want to build this deck. So that's just an important point. Don't roll in the regular pack if you don't need every clan. So if you just want Kagero, then just roll for Kagero. So let's get into a game. We are currently at Legend 9. I'm still aiming, I'm in 2-win streak right now. The most I had was 11 win streak with this deck a couple days ago. Still haven't gotten 15, really trying to get it. But yeah, this deck is just insane. By far my favorite deck in 0 right now. There's never been so much satisfaction from playing a deck in this game, and I hope every deck that comes out from here on out will be the same. So we're going to be playing against a Royal Paladin opponent. This should be quite interesting. So we're going to see some MLB action. We are going second, however, so that's an important thing to note. So here you can see we actually have a really good opening hand. I might actually keep everything. This is actually a really good opening hand. We can try to draw Overlord over time, but starting with the end is fine as well. And I already have a PG, I have my Gojo, but I'm going second, so actually Gojo isn't too hot. I actually might put back the Aermo and just search it. No, I'll keep. It's a good hand, it's a good hand. If anything, I can see if I draw a bar, and then I can still call the Gojo to filter later on. So, we're going to be playing against Royals, and he does start with Wingle Brave, meaning this will be an MLB deck. So, he's going to go into the Lian, which is the perfect start for him. So, essentially he gets to use just rest, discard 1, draw 1 to filter into his Blaster Darks, Blaster Blades, anything else that the deck really needs. Star Calls, you know, it's kind of the best third option for that. So, he's going to discard himself a Soul Saver and draw 1. So, we're going to go into our turn now. And we're going to be drawing into a PG and a bar. Perfect. Wow, what do I even need off this Conroe now? Man, like this is what happens sometimes. You literally just don't need anything off the Conroe. So we're basically going to do this. So we're going to call down Aermo, so the filtering may begin. I'm going to just discard the Gojo because I don't need him anymore. So we're just going to swing like this. So we're going to swing for 14. We get a nothing, but that's absolutely fine. But we do hit, and that's the important part. He gets nothing as well. That reveals that he plays Galahad. So we're going to discard that Gojo, draw into another Gojo, that's fine. We still have one more turn chance to draw into Overlord. We're going to see if that happens or not. Even if it doesn't, it's usually fine. It's just, you know, it's all good. So, he's going to go into Blaster Blade, and so here we're going to see, going to let all the animations play. Oh, the catchphrases when you ride the end is so good too, I can't wait to show you that. So he's going to go in, maybe he heals here. Oh, perfect. He doesn't get to use his Wingle Brave, because Wingle Brave in 0 costs 1 Counterblast. So I'm actually really happy with my opponent's heal on their first drive check, because they basically, whoa, 3 PGs already. They basically don't get to use their Wingle Brave, and if he didn't have MLB in hand already, then he's kind of screwed. To the end, absolutely perfect. We take those. So we're going to ride the Berserk. Not going to be able to use it, but that's a-okay. Honestly, there's nothing I need off the Conroe here. I'm going to wait maybe a turn. He's probably not going to pop my stuff. I'm just going to attack like this. We don't need to go too ham. There's a Bellicosity. Like, if I had Bellicosity, I would have used Conroe, because then at least I can refund and counterblast immediately, but otherwise not necessary. So we're going to discard our second Gojo, draw into another Berserk. That's fine. That'll help us field control later on. So it looks like we're going to be missing the cross-ride this game, but as you'll see, it's going to be pretty A-okay. I'm going to plug in my charger. It's not that necessary. Ooh, he rides Alfred early. So it did not have MLB, and that's it's not a card you see being run too often. What trigger does he have assigned? It's a draw. So far we've seen 2 heals on 1 draw pop out. So let's see. So that Winglord Brave is kind of sitting duck right now. We check a heal, so we're going to be going up to 19k. So he needs a trigger to pass, which is pretty likely considering he's only seen 3 so far. According to our knowledge, there's a Blaster Dark and a draw, so he does hit a trigger. That's fine. I did want 2 damage because now we can do the end to get some early tempo on, because I do need grade 2s and 3s. Never mind, I guess I'm double healing. Alright, so we're gonna go back to our turn. We're gonna Heat Nail Salamander. Sadly, it's a dud here, but we're gonna go for the end. I'm just gonna I'm gonna put up the volume so you can hear the amazing catchphrase. Aww, so cool. Ah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm not even that big of a fan of Kagero, man. I just love this. It's so good. So we can't use the end. So I'm basically just gonna, like, tempo, I guess. Just farm resources. I guess I can drop the Salamander because he's not committing much to board. So we can't do the end. We can't use much. So we're basically just gonna see what we get. Nothing and nothing. So I might draw a trigger if I draw here. More heals. This game's gonna be so long. You know, I have some really big brain games sometimes. Let's drop the Salamander. Nice. Grade 2. Good, good. We need rearguards to pop our opponent's intercepts. Don't forget you can also attack with the end into their intercept. That helps to, you know, you can activate the skill and at the same time you get to do everything else. So I wonder if he wanted that counterblast, because I guess he had Starkle in hand maybe? Damn. This really isn't looking good for our opponent. We have a nice hand, and it's only going to get better once we use the end, which should be after this turn, unless we heal again. He's already seen 3 heals go, which I'm pretty happy about. I like seeing heals go in the early game, because that means that when I try to go for the win, it's actually certain, and not like, oh, if he checks a heal, I'm not going to win, kind of thing. So we're going to take our second damage here, hopefully, finally. Yes, we are. Now it's just the case of not healing when we actually go for the end. We draw Waterfall. That's actually pretty nice, I want to say. In that case, how should I move? This and this. I think I will do it like this. Or I can use... No, I'm not going to use Conroe. Because I could have used Conroe, put a bar behind the Bellicosity, attacked into a counter charge, but then I would have... I can't do this, which is just unboosted attack with the end, which is really strong. So we get to do that. Nothing on the second check either. So hopefully our opponent doesn't get a trigger. He does not, so that's absolutely perfect. We can use the Persona Blast. You can see the cool animation here. As you Persona Blast, it does a little flame all over the place and explodes. And then we get to restand and draw 2 cards into a heal and the Overlord. That's A-okay. So we're going to just swing. I can actually filter the... Oh, we got another heal. We go down to 1 damage, and we're going to be trying to put him to 4 this turn if he doesn't check a trigger here. So that's going to be very exciting. Does he check a trigger? He does not. We can put him to 4. We can also filter 1 card here, so we're going to be able to discard 1 to find an Hallam. That's absolutely amazing. And here we're going to be able to attack for 21. You might be able to tell that this is the most excited I've been about a deck in Zero ever, period. It's so fun. He muted my emotes. Really? I think he did. Well, that's sad. Anyway, so we're going to continue through our game here. Our opponent is in stand and draw. I hope he didn't disconnect. We are 1-4 here after 1 use of the end already. So as you can see, even if you don't cross-ride, the deck can still do a lot. Unfortunately for our opponent, you know, his deck is just not being very nice to him. And We're stuck in stand and draw for some reason for his turn. So I hope he didn't disconnect, please. But even if he did disconnect, I would at least have like a little text saying that he disconnected, but I'm not getting that, so that's kind of strange. But let's see where this goes. I'll be back when something happens. Oh, he said the words. Is he here? His units actually stood up. Oh, he drew it. Can we go to right phase? Yes. Okay, my opponent is still there. Alright, here's the MLB animation. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as good as the end. I kind of got reminded from Zero that when MLB actually had his debut, oh my god, second time, in the original anime, he didn't look that good either, compared to how we remember him, but doesn't matter. The card art still looks lit, literally lit. He has a flame behind his head. So he's going to search a Blaster Dark with a Starcold Trumpeter. He's going to be setting up for that MLB here, unbeknownst to the fact that we have 3 PGs in our hand. Absolutely amazing. Just saying. I really actually want him to do everything here. I want him to... he doesn't actually need to pop... He can pop my Waterfall. I think he's going to do that. Is he? Yes. So he's going to pop my Waterfall, and he's going to attack into the Bellicosity. He's going to attack with his 15k to give me 1 damage, and then he's going to attack with his MLB with the crit. He actually plays normal crits, so if he gets another one, then I will actually... Ooh. Well, there goes the end, but that's okay. We already used him once. But, alright, here goes 27k damage. Oh, well, attack with 2 damage. I hope he doesn't check a crit because I do want to actually take this. But if he does, then it'll get PG'd. Oh, okay. Then PG will trigger and I will stay on 2 damage. Because that's how the PG algorithm, thing works. And, that's absolutely fine for me too because, I mean, I'd rather stay on 2 damage than go on 5, so... We get a bar. Bar is nice. We're gonna right skip. I guess now would be a good time to use Conroe. I could always search a 4th PG, but I don't know if that's necessary. So. Let's call our Mr. Nehalem. Just thinking if it's a good time to use Conroe now. Because I guess I could actually just search something. I have a bar in hand for later. Or I would have to use bar now then. All my heals are gone. I still have 2 draws left in deck, and they are one the end, one Overlord, I think. Should I use bar here? I feel like it's good. I don't need PGs, but I think... Oh, sorry. Should I use Conroe? Nah, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't, actually. Let's keep it like this. My Vanguard's hitting for 17, so it's a magic number anyway. I don't really need to filter anymore. Let's just try to close game. Of course, it's important that he doesn't check a trigger here. He does not, so we'll be able to take out a PG in his hand at the very least. So let's take a look. We get a bar, followed by a draw. So that's also nice. We can draw into our Burning Horn, which is also nice. That'll be good for next turn. We can now make a 20k column. It doesn't really matter against this matchup, so one of his PGs will trigger. That's the first one we see as well. So the lucky thing is that for me, I still have 2 PGs to run through, and then if things get dirty, I can use Conroe then. As you can see, if you draw the nuts in your early game, you can just keep off from using Conroe for a while, because obviously counter charge is hard to come by sometimes, so yeah. Here, if he doesn't, he doesn't call any grade 2s, which means that I can go ham on him, basically, which is good for me. Especially we can draw a Berserk. I have 1... I rode 1, I think, and then... Okay, I still have 2 Berserks in deck, so maybe if we draw into 1, that could be something nice. So he's going to take us to 3 damage, and that's going to trigger my PG again, because when a crit comes at you from Vanguard, and you would go to 5 damage or 6, that's when PGs trigger. He gets a draw, which is good for him. I would like... Burning Horn doesn't actually matter here. I don't know. I'm thinking, what do I actually want? PG I'll keep for now. I think I still don't need to search a PG, but maybe I should. Okay, there's a Berserk, which I don't need to use just yet. Decisions. Quite the tough one. Thing is, if I can actually play the Burning Horn without a boost, so that's kind of the good part. And I can put the bar behind the Overlord, and then basically, I guess I should search the PG, huh? Maybe just to be safe, it's a good time, because I'm not going to use... but then what if I'm not going to drive check into it at the end, because I only have one draw in deck and it's the end, so I don't want that. Okay, I think this is a good time to search my last PG. Let's do that. So let's find the last one. I could also use Heat Nail Salamander, but nah, let's just find the PG. Make him think that we didn't have any left in hand. But, you know, all of that is just to get in his mind. So we're going to just swing here with a 12. Burning Horn is good for that fact that in this MLB matchup you can just do this. And we're going to try to deliver lethal here, and are we able to? Yes, we are, so that's going to be our game. We take that very dominantly. Absolutely shattered. So as you can see, the end is insane. I honestly... I got a new router, whatever you want to call it, and my internet is stable. That's why I'm able to stream my phone onto my computer, and I don't have to like do post editing. So that's why I'm looking at my computer screen as I am looking at the game actually. And so I should be able to stream again, and I think honestly I might just do a ranked stream on Twitch and just show you what this deck is capable of, you know, over a series of games, you know, trying to chase some certain legends at like 2 hours at a time or something. So that's the end. It's super good, honestly. It's so good. I hope I got to show you how important Aermo is. Maybe not so much because we just drew the nut early game, but the filter of Aermo literally is what makes this deck. It really is what makes you win and what takes you super far. So I really recommend my deck lists. Never before have I actually recommended my deck list this hard. I really think that my deck list is really good for this format, and it's just... You know, people already are trying to outsmart it, you know, by running the Claw, the Grade 0 Kagero starter lets you snipe a starter so they can snipe your Conroe so you can't find your Aermo, and also Heat Nail snipes your Aermos. I don't think it justifies playing 2 Aermos though. I still think 1 is fine because then at least you have Gojo as a backup that you can search. But yeah, so this deck, absolute insanity. It's just beautiful, it's amazing. Once again, I'll pop it up on the screen so you guys can see it. It's just so fun. It's honestly, I don't think, like, I can go on about it for ages, and honestly, like, when I build decks in Zero, I tend to get bored of them pretty fast. I gotta be honest with you guys. Like, I tend to get bored of them pretty fast. I kind of burn out. Not so much burn out, but actually I just feel unmotivated to keep playing them. But this deck, like, I just want to keep playing. I never want to stop playing it, and I've never had that feeling before, and that's why I can wholeheartedly recommend this deck to everyone, because it's just so fun. It really is so fun. It is on the expensive side. You need, like, 8 triple rares. The waterfall isn't necessary. Like I said, if you have a blockade, put a blockade. If you have like another 13k attacker, I guess you can put that in too, but it doesn't need to be waterfall. Waterfall is, I think, just like the next best option because it's still an 11k base. But yeah, everything else, you can run 1 Burning Horn, by the way, either if you have a 4th Bellicosity or if you have a Striken. I tested 1 Striken, 1 Burning Horn for a while. It didn't come in handy, but Striken is good when you ride into the end directly, because then you have a restanding +1 crit, 16k Vanguard, which helps you deal with triggers already. And so, yeah, it's pretty damn good. This deck list is magic. It's beautiful. I really love it, and I can't recommend it enough. Honestly, this deck is so fun. I really can't say it enough. This deck is insane fun. So yeah, if you have the resources, try it yourself. If you don't, you can pick up Overlords for 200 V medals in the store. Therefore, you can get at least your Overlords a bit faster. But I really wish you guys luck with either pulling your VNs or crafting them. In my case, I really saved up for these last 3 months just to be able to craft 4 VNs. I didn't craft any Ambers. I didn't craft any... God, what was the previous... I didn't craft any Waterfalls. I basically just ignored Kagero support and I was lucky to pull Bellicosities, and then I think I crafted a Berserk or something like that, and like I pulled the PGs and everything. So that's just, you know, that's just how it is. The ends actually all pulled too. So I didn't craft a single normal Overlord, rather. I pulled all... I only crafted 1 Burning Horn and 4 the ends from this deck list. Everything else I pulled. So you can do it if you try. Play every day, do your dailies, make sure to clear all the new story missions. God, that's so important. They added a lot of new story all the way up to the end of Season 1, and you get a lot of packs from it, like really a lot. And so you should really clear everything. There's a lot to do, and it's just, it's important. So you can also go up to grade 40, which increases your stamina to 110. As you can see, I'm on 36 because I'm just waiting for my stamina to refresh to finish my character fight quest, and then you get another pack after grading up. So it's pretty great. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to the channel members. So as of right now, our channel members are So, big thank you to Very Flores, Crowned Clown, Chad Leiske, Platinum Wolf 2009, Slyfox 34 Games, 50 cards, and the latest edition, which is Cool Kid 9514. So, thank you so much to everyone that has become a channel member. I really appreciate your support. It means the world to me, and yeah, I really thank you for everything that you guys do for this channel. It's because of you that I can do all this, so thank you so much. So, that's gonna be it for me today. I'll see you guys with another Zero video sometime soon. There's a lot to talk about. This meta is amazing. I hope I can craft MLB fairly soon so I can bring you that deck as well. Please let me know which decks you want to see as well. Do you want to see more? What other kinds of Zero content you want to see? Because right now I'm really excited about the game and I'm ready to make more content for it as well. So that's going to be it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.